quitting smoking. We've all known someone who's tried, right? Maybe they struggled, maybe they succeeded. But what if understanding the psychology behind it all could make the entire process, I don't know, not just easier, but actually stick for good? Well, today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to break down the science and the strategy of becoming a non-smoker. And we have to start with a serious reality check. 1 in 2. That's it. That's the number. It's the number of long-term smokers who will die from their habit. It's a statistic that's been around for decades, which, leads to a pretty big question. So, if the danger is so obvious, so well known, why is quitting one of the hardest things a person can do? That's the real puzzle we're going to solve today. This isn't about a lack of information, it's about a really complex battle that's happening inside the mind. Okay, so first up, why is this so incredibly tough? Well, it's because for a smoker, it honestly feels like they're being asked to give up something genuinely valuable. This really breaks down that internal tug of war perfectly. On one side, you've got what feel like immediate benefits, right? That cigarette feels like real stress relief. It's a comfortable routine, a little mini break from the chaos of the day. But on the other side, you have these devastating long-term costs. The thing is, smokers aren't ignoring those costs. They're just weighing them against benefits that feel very, very real in the moment. And this, right here, gets to the absolute core of it. The struggle to quit smoking is not a moral failing. It is not a weakness of character. What it is a powerful combination of two things: a chemical addiction, which is actually pretty low level, and a deeply, deeply ingrained psychological habit, which is incredibly high level. So, how does this actually happen on a chemical level? To get that, we need to pop the hood and look at the science of how nicotine literally hijacks your brain's entire reward system. So, the main character in this whole drama is dopamine. People call it the pleasure chemical, but honestly, it's more of a motivation chemical. It's the little messenger in your brain that says, hey, that was good. Let's do that again. And nicotine is just ruthlessly efficient at gaming the system. I mean, within just 10 seconds of inhaling, it smacks into your brain and triggers that dopamine surge. Your brain immediately connects smoking with that good feeling, and then boom, it starts demanding another hit. That demand, that's what a craving is, and it feels powerful enough to just steamroll right over your rational brain. This is my absolute favorite way to think about what's happening. The craving is like a high-priority, dopamine-fueled memo that goes straight to the secretary. That's your fast-acting emotional brain. The secretary slams the button and shouts, "Yes, do it," before the memo can even get to the desk of the boss. Your slow, logical brain, who would have just calmly looked at it and said, "Hold on, this is a terrible idea." Okay, so knowing all of that, what actually works? Let's open up the toolkit for quitting and see what the data really says. When you look at the numbers here, it's fascinating. Going cold turkey, just using willpower, has a really low success rate. Nicotine replacement stuff like patches and gum, a little bit better. Prescription meds show a bit more promise. And then you see these methods like hypnotherapy, which some studies show have these incredibly high success rates. The range is just huge. So here's the big takeaway. The crucial point is this: the methods that really work the best aren't just fighting the physical craving. They are also reprogramming the mental habit, that whole internal story that drives the behavior in the first place. And that brings us to what might be the single most important part of this whole explainer: winning the mental game. This is where the real lasting change actually happens. It all starts with the language we use. Just think about this phrase for a second: give up. Right away, it frames the whole thing as a loss, a sacrifice. Don't be a quitter. The words themselves feel like failure. Now, compare that to this: become a non-smoker. See the difference? This isn't about losing something at all. It's about gaining a new positive identity. You're working towards a goal, not running away from a problem. This shift in identity, it's everything. When you say, "I am a smoker," it feels like it's a core part of you, something fixed. But if you just tweak it to, "I am a person who currently smokes," suddenly it's just a behavior. And behaviors? Behaviors can be changed. You separate the action from who you are, which makes it infinitely easier to let go of. Now, one of the most powerful ways to really cement this new identity is through a visualization technique called the Dickens process. It's all about creating real, powerful emotional leverage for yourself. Okay, imagine you're standing at a fork in the road. Down one path, you keep smoking. I want you to really feel what that's like 10 years from now. The breathlessness, the money stress. maybe the fear of missing out on family moments. Now come back to that fork and choose the other path. Imagine yourself in 10 years as a non-smoker. Feel how strong you are, how much energy you have, how much more money you have, how you're fully present for the people you love. By truly feeling the pain of one path and the absolute joy of the other, the right choice becomes, well, it becomes the only choice. All right, finally, let's talk about the rewards. Because the amazing thing is the positive changes don't just happen in some far-off future. Your body starts healing almost the instant you stop. This timeline is just incredible. I mean, within 20 minutes, your body is already showing improvements. After just 48 hours, your senses of smell and taste, senses you might have thought were gone for good, start coming back to life. In just 1 year, your risk of heart disease is cut in half. And after 15 years, it's like you never smoked at all. It's such a powerful reminder that it is never, ever too late. And the benefits, they go way beyond just your physical health. Becoming a non-smoker gives you so much back. You literally gain more money, more time in your day, and most importantly, more years of life to actually enjoy. And if there's just one single idea to take away from all of this, let it be this one. This isn't about running away from fear. It's about running towards a better, healthier, more vibrant life. The motivation isn't to avoid death, it's to fully embrace living. So there you have it. We've unpacked the internal debate, we've looked at the brain science, and we've covered the mental strategies that make all the difference. The question really isn't why is it so hard anymore? The real question is, what's the first step you can take toward that healthier future? You now have the power because you understand the game, which means you can finally win it.